Blasey Ford, the woman who first said Kavanaugh assaulted her when they were teenagers. A two-day sentencing hearing starts this morning outside of Philadelphia after Bill Cosby's conviction on sex assault charges. He faces up to 30 years in prison. President Trump is in New York as leaders from around the world get together for the annual UN General Assembly meeting. The president addresses the United Nations tomorrow. This is ABC News. There are new worries for people living near a dump in Missouri that has nuclear waste from World War II. ABC's Kent Martin has the story.
The landfill near St. Louis has come under scrutiny because an underground fire burns near nuclear waste created during the Manhattan Project and the Cold War. Landfill operators have spent millions of dollars to keep the two separate and eliminate gas and odor emissions. The report cites air sampling through 2016 showing levels of sulfur-based compounds and sulfur dioxide high enough to aggravate respiratory and chronic cardiopulmonary diseases. The state contends gas emissions have dropped. Residents, though, say they are not convinced. They want to be relocated away from the site. Kent Martin, ABC News, St. Louis.
A former worker at the restaurant reservation service Open Table is now facing wire fraud charges. Steve Addison reportedly used a rival service called Reserve to book hundreds of fake reservations at Chicago area restaurants in an apparent attempt to kill Reserve's reputation when no one would show up. Lana Zach, ABC News.
It's time. Time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
This flu season, one Walgreens flu shot can make a world of difference. So you can protect yourself and also your close-talking coworkers, high-fiving neighbors, 2-month-old niece. That's why Walgreens has specially trained pharmacists that have provided over 60 million flu shots since 2010. Stop by for your flu shot today with a $0 copay with most insurance. Because protecting the world starts with protecting yours. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
You're listening to your hometown radio station, 103.3 FM The Tiger, on translator ID W277CK, Princeton, Kentucky.
806 at WPKY. And look, you're dry. You didn't even wear a raincoat, Mitzi Bumpus.
I know. I was brave, wasn't I?
You were. Well, last I checked, the roof's good at the Caldwell County Senior Citizen Center, so everybody's nice and dry there. Nice to have you. We're going to talk a little bit about the Senior Center. And I know it's funny what a difference a few days makes in the weather because it was so stinking hot. And I felt sorry for the seniors because you were doing the senior games. You were talking like, man, you were glad you were stocked up on water. You went through it, huh?
Yes, we did. It was so hot. But thanks to our local food giant, Marshall Oakley, he donated 10 24-packs of water. So that really helped us up there.
Now, tell me about the senior games. This is several senior citizen centers get together and just have fun and compete a little bit.
Yes, the Penny Rao Parks and Recreation, they have been putting it on for at least, I know, over 32 years.
Wow.
And we go up there, and it's just not the senior centers, but like nursing homes and just people from the community. You don't have to be a part of any center or anything like that. They show up and just play games. And it's great. They have very competitive. It's a very competitive time, but they have fun.
Now, what is your age range? What do you? I think they have it classified by age, don't they?
Yes, they do. They'll have it broken down into different age categories, but the youngest is 50 and older. And this year, there was the oldest. They always give an award for the oldest male and oldest female. And the oldest male, I believe he was 94. Wow. If I remember right, because the female, she's 95.
Wow.
So, yes, they always give out an award, and it's a great time. It's actually 3 days of it, but we usually will just go for the 2. And they'll give us, have the big old thing of bingo. So all the counties, we contribute about 3 prizes each. So they'll have plenty of bingo prizes.
So you can play bingo, whatever.
And they give outdoor prizes. They have that first day they do like health assessments on them where they can get their blood pressures checked and things like that for free. And then that last day they have a big banquet at the end, And so it's always great food.
Oh, yeah.
And then they give out more door prizes. So it's just always a fun, filled days, long days, but they're
Is it
great.
in Hopkinsville?
In
Where?
Hopkinsville, at the Parks and Recreation.
And you all just kind of you provide transportation, and man, that's a
Okay,
deal
and
there, huh?
Thinking about that, yes, we do. And a big shout out to Miss Lucinda Hughes at Trice Hughes. This is the second year that they have provided us with a big van.
Oh, they let you ride in style. Yeah.
So that I'm able to take the people that
Sure.
don't have rides. So we're really grateful for that.
Now, how young? What's your youngest senior?
That I have?
That would compete in the games.
50.
Oh, wow.
So I'll be ready in a few years.
I need to come over and eat today.
I told them now for the games. Yes, I told them I'll be ready for it in a few years. But at the senior center, the way that it's set up, if you're 60 or older and you want to come and have lunch with us, it's just a donation. It's like a $3 donation.
Oh, wow.
But I don't want anybody to ever keep that money from coming to eat. If they
Right.
need to have lunch.
If you don't have the $3 at the moment, it's not a big deal.
No,
just come and I think it would be fun just to hang out with everybody and the fellowship and have a big time.
Have a good time. Like we're having bingo today. So we have bingo every Thursday, and then we randomly pick days, and I'll put it on the calendar for us to have other bingo days. And of course, we still have our Bible study on Tuesdays at 10:15. So anybody's welcome to come to that. And then we just have other little times we'll sprinkle in things here and there.
Now, if I qualify as a senior and I want to come by and visit, what's the best way to go about it? Is there a certain time that there are activities at the center, or what's the best way to do? Call or just drop by, or how does that work?
You can call us and see what's going on for that day. If you're computer savvy, you can go on the website for the Penny Royal Allied Community Services, and all 9 counties have a calendar that's up there to see what their activities are for that day. And then we also print out, and you guys are great here at the radio station with announcing what's going to be happening for that day.
You write it out for us. All we have to do is read it. It's perfect for us, yeah.
And then let's say you just wake up that morning and you're like, oh, I think I'll try it. Don't let that stop you. Like if you haven't called us the day before, don't let that stop you from coming. Please still call and let us know. We're always able to kind of squeeze you on in there. Because there is a reservation system for meals.
Well, yeah, I was wondering because you'd have to know how many you're cooking for.
It's very important that we do know. But like I said, don't let that stop you. If you wake up that morning and you're like, oh, I think I will go to the center. Just kind of give us a heads up, though. So we might have to throw in that extra baked potato or that extra piece of chicken. So it's really important that we know if you're coming, though.
Mitzi, now how long have you been at the center?
I have been there since 2012. I actually started as Suzanne Halls. She was the current director at the time, and she hired me as her assistant. And then in May of 2013, she left, and I became the director down there.
What's the best part about your job?
Just the people. The people talking, having a good time with them. We become a family, down there. We fuss and argue and get mad at each other, but then that next minute you roll right around and we're just hugging again and just having a good time. It's like family reunion every day.
You probably got a few jokesters over there too.
Oh yeah. Actually, I have a couple. One of them, he's like a magician though. I know most of you probably know Tommy Drennan. He puts on magic tricks for us sometimes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, and then there's several people. I don't know if they want me to give their names or not, but yeah, they're like our local jokesters.
But you have fun, and it does. You become part of a family, and it's so important to be able to anytime you can hang out and visit with peers and folks you've got things in common with. I think that makes everybody feel better. Sometimes. Later in life, you lose some friends and maybe you lose your spouse or whatever. It could be pretty lonely just hanging out at the house.
I know it. And that's what I say. If you can just get that one person in the door that might be hesitant, if you've got a family member that's like, no, I'm not old enough, or, just doesn't want to come, get them down there. Come with them. That might make them feel more comfortable, too, one day. And then I'm sure there's somebody that they know.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people from all walks of the community, that's down there, whether they're wealthy or, not doing as well as others. Everyone is welcome down there.
All right, doesn't matter your income or anything like that.
No. We have all kinds down there.
Well, sounds
We're
good.
all there for a reason, just to enjoy ourselves and fellowship. We have legal aid. They come down there if anybody ever needs that's, over 60 or not doing very well financially. If they need help, we have free legal aid service.
That's great.
That comes the third Friday of the month. So that's really nice. So
we're going to have more with Mitzi in a minute. She's with the Caldwell Senior Citizen Center, a big window of opportunity for seniors coming up in October. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious homemade goodness. Hancock's makes their own fresh chicken salad, pimento cheese, salads, and a variety of mouth-watering desserts, sure to please your entire family. While at Hancock's, be sure to visit their meat department for the best selection of USDA choice meats in the area. Hancock's Neighborhood Market in Cadiz, hometown homemade goodness, and the Hancock name you know and trust for quality for your family. Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz.
The doctor is in at Health First Community Health Center. Dr. Jamie Perry is ready to care for the community, providing primary care services at 1100 South Jefferson Street here in Princeton. Dr. Perry is accepting new patients and walk-ins are always welcome. At Health First Community Health Center, we are not just another doctor's office, we're your medical home. Call us toll-free at 1-877-667-7017.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Target, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
Here's your weekday schedule for the Capitol Cinemas, Main Street in Princeton, your hometown theater. And we've got Unbroken, we've got The Predator, and we've got The Nun showing. Here we go. Cinema 1, Unbroken, The Path to Redemption. A true story based on the best-selling book, Unbroken, with the story of an athlete in the Olympics who went to World War II, was captured, tortured, returned after the war, a hero, and then things kind of went wrong for him. Unbroken, The Path of Redemption, 6:30 Monday through Thursday. All our movies are at 6:30 Monday through Thursday. The Predator, rated R, 6:30 Monday through Thursday. Unbroken, by the way, is a PG-13, if I forgot to mention that. And in Cinema 3, The Nun, also rated R at 6:30. Looks like it'll be the last week for The Nun because coming Friday, we've got a new family movie for you. Full-length animated cartoon, Smallfoot, PG, starts Friday at the Capitol. That's it. If you've forgotten all that, don't forget our 24-hour show info number, 365-7900, or just Google us. Ask for Capitol Cinemas, Princeton, Kentucky.
Good morning, WPKY Morning Show. It's 8:16. We're visiting with Mitzi with the Caldwell County Senior Center, and then Roy Jean's going to be in. We have Roy Jean Rogers in a political forum tonight, so a chance to hear the candidates in their own words before the. Hard to believe that we're in fall, Mitzi. It's hard to believe that the elections are not that far away in November.
And we've passing.
And you know what else is in November? Thanksgiving.
Yes. And I wanted to say, I know you think, oh, we're not going to start thinking about that yet, but in the next week or so, we will have our sign-up sheets out for all of you that do come to see us at Thanksgiving to have lunch with us, because that is a big thing in our community, to have Thanksgiving lunch at the Senior Citizen Center. So make sure you start calling and getting those reservations in, please.
Because you have to know how many.
Yes, and we enjoy it, though. We love it. We always have our little extra things set out, so we want to make sure we have enough for everybody.
Nice, so good. So that's coming up very soon, and then we were also talking, and it confuses me so much. The whole thing of health insurance and when you can enroll and what's available, what are my options, yada yada. And you actually are going to have some folks, some experts come in to help our seniors navigate that, because October's a big month for us.
October the 15th starts the open enrollment periods. It runs for Medicare. It runs from October the 15th through December 7th. And so you can call us down there and we'll get you scheduled. If you need help talking with somebody about if you want to change because we mainly focus down there on your Part D prescription drug plans. And if you just want to come down there and just speak with me mainly, I'm one of the ship counselors.
Okay.
But if you want to come down there and talk, and we can help you navigate that website that gets confusing too, I know. So just call, and you can start making appointments with me now.
Okay.
If you like. So.
And that all happens. We just meet at the senior center.
The senior center.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
You provide the computer?
Yes.
Oh, that's a heck of a deal right there.
We'll go in there and we'll look together. We don't tell you what plans to pick,
right.
but we will show you your options
right.
and things like that. Just kind of help you navigate through it a little bit easier.
It's a lot.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot. So if somebody's going to help me for free, I'm all in, right? It's a free service?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So I encourage you to start calling me down there at 365-7446, and we'll start getting you set up with some appointments.
That sounds terrific. And the number again?
270-365-7446. And actually, on October 15th, if you come down that day, I'm going to have it's like my kickoff, and I'll have a table set up, and I'll have some literature and little pamphlets and things like that, and you can just sign up then if you like. You can come in and see me then and get you signed up.
One question I want to ask you, when folks come in for the first time, if they've never been before, they come to the Caldwell County Senior Citizen Center, what's one of the most common comments they make? What surprises them the most when they come in?
Actually, they'll say, oh, this is nice. Several people still think it's a nursing home, and there's nothing wrong with nursing homes.
No.
They're wonderful. We need those. But this is more like a community center.
Yeah.
They'll come in, and we've got nice seating and tables, and I think they're amazed exactly just how it is down there. But come in and have a free cup of coffee, and we always have popcorn going.
That's nice. Yeah.
So
just a great, so it doesn't cost anything to come check it out and just encourage you. I'm sure you've got plenty of room. And as long as we communicate with you, let you know what our plans are, it sounds like we'd be welcome.
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right. Do you do Facebook?
Yes, we are.
Do?
Actually, we do. We've got it up and going. Dakota Young actually helped get one of the pages started. So I know we've had several people coming on there, but it's just the Caldwell Senior Citizen Center.
Nice. So we can now like you on Facebook.
Yes, please do.
All right. Anything else we need to cover?
No, just come and see me do an open enrollment.
Yes.
Make sure you guys call us. Let us know if you're going to be coming for our Thanksgiving dinner, and then we'll talk about Christmas.
Oh, that's right.
And everyone is welcome.
Well, good deal. Good deal. We'll tell all the Pennyroyal Games winners we said hi, and hopefully you'll be settled in for a week. No road trips this week, right?
Right. No road trips this week. Our transportation is kind of slim going out of town right now, but like I said, thanks you, Miss Lucinda Hughes, for getting us there to the games, and thank you, Marshall Oakley at Princeton Food Giant, for donating the water. We really needed it, and it really came in handy.
It sounds like it was good timing. Mitzi Bumpus, thank you. Good luck. Stay dry.
Thank
you. And I know we'll visit again, and hopefully we'll have a big time. Sounds like you've got a great menu planned for the week. I read ahead a little bit, and always something fun at the Caldwell Senior Citizen Center. So thank you, and thanks to you and your staff for all you all do, because I know it's a passion for you. It has to be.
It is.
Thank you, Mitzi.
Thank you.
See you later. All right, let's see. We're going to have Roy Jean in here in a minute. We'll talk about the political forum that is coming up tonight in Princeton.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street.
Toll free at 1-877-667-7017.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Target, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
Here's your weekday schedule for the Capitol Cinemas, Main Street in Princeton, your hometown theater. And we've got Unbroken, we've got The Predator, and we've got The Nun showing. Here we go. Cinema 1, Unbroken, The Path to Redemption. A true story based on the best-selling book, Unbroken, with the story of an athlete in the Olympics who went to World War II, was captured, tortured, returned after the war a hero, and then things kind of went wrong for him. Unbroken, The Path of Redemption, 6:30 Monday through Thursday. All our movies are at 6:30 Monday through Thursday. The Predator, rated R, 6:30 Monday through Thursday. Unbroken, by the way, is a PG-13, if I forgot to mention that. And in Cinema 3, The Nun, also rated R at 6:30. Looks like it'll be the last week for The Nun, because coming Friday, we've got a new family movie for you. Full-length animated cartoon, Smallfoot, PG, starts Friday at the Capitol. That's it. If you've forgotten all that, don't forget our 24-hour show info number, 365-7900, or just Google us. Ask for Capitol Cinemas, Princeton, Kentucky.
824 WPKY. And rain continues. Remember that flood watch is in effect till 7 o'clock. The official rain gauge at Roy Jean Rogers' house. How much rain over the weekend? We got about almost an inch and a half since midnight here.
The big city of Farmersville, our airport, we measured down there, and we had 2.2 inches, and then on top of what we had last night. So we're getting close to 4 inches down there.
Well, we were, I don't know, you probably don't know how many inches we were behind, but we were behind.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it was dry. Last week, we were hauling hay, and in the field right next to us, they were shelling corn. In the field right next to that, they were doing soybeans, and you're talking about the dust kicking up. I don't think, in the last 2 or 3 years I've seen it that bad, but we were dry. I think Eddie Boone, I read his post this morning, we've only had an inch and 5/10 in the last 5, 6, 7 weeks. So we were dry.
That makes you want to wear one of those masks. All
Yes,
that dust,
most
that's not good for the lungs. But fields are going to be pretty wet now.
Yes, they are. Be a while before people can get back in them. But I mean, it's soaking in. Coming into town this morning, the creeks are not overflowing where we live. They're still maybe half to 3/4 full, but the rain has come at a pace that a lot of it is soaking in. So it's going to be good for the pasture, for the farmers. After it dries out, we can get back in the fields.
That's the best kind of rain, those slow
It
soakers.
is.
You
It
don't
sure
want
is.
those big thunder boomers.
No.
I was excited. I'm finally getting tomatoes. I was pulling out red tomatoes in September, so I'm doing good. But we'll see what October brings. It seems like by looking at the leaves and around, fall sneaking up on us.
It is. Just a light note here, down in my area, we have trouble getting signal from WPKY. I have to go up on a hill, sometimes what we call the knob farm that we own, to get a clear signal. But then when the leaves start falling,
Isn't that something?
We're able to get signal.
We need to get like rabbit ears for radio.
Yeah, something. Or y'all need to put up another tower down there and just
I would love it.
signals off it.
If the FCC would give us the go sign, we would be all over that. But, speaking about government, here's a great opportunity tonight. We had a news story on it. So there's a political forum this evening in downtown. This is Circuit Courtroom at 6:30. Several Caldwell County candidates will be there. And, golly, I just it's so important to vote and to be educated. And, I guess you're in with the crew, or you know something about who's putting this on tonight. But I'm telling you, I'm so glad that they do, because it's so hard. People are so busy. It's hard to get to know the candidates. But this is a perfect opportunity.
Right. Of course, I taught political science here for 33 years. And one of my sayings in class was, an uneducated vote is a dangerous thing for a person to possess. And I didn't mean formal education. It was not being informed about the positions that the candidates had. And many of my students remember that. Back before the primary, I had been here to a couple of stores, and people were saying, well, what does this candidate stand for? What does this candidate stand for? And I said, I really don't know. I've talked to them, but to come out and tell you what they stand for, I can't do it. So I just put something on social media about that comment that was made to me, and I said, is anyone going to do anything? Well, Brock Thomas, former county judge Brock, sent me a message back, and he said, let's make it happen. So we formed Your Voice, Your Vote, little web page. We had a forum for the candidates, the Democrat candidates for judge executive, went over good. Then we had one for the candidates for state senate and state representative just a few weeks ago. Put this one together, and I'll be talking to Brock tonight. I've already talked to some of the candidates for city council and mayor, see if we can't put one together for them just so that they can speak. I mean, 4, 5, 6 minutes. That's an important race. The people here in the city of Princeton, the city council and the mayor's race this year is very, very important. But tonight, you have an opportunity to hear Larry Curlin, Philip Sisk, George Kilgore, Shirley Boyd Gray, Jeff Sims, and Jeff Boone. They have been presented questions that we got from the community.
That was my question. What will the format be tonight? How will that work?
This is, I'll just go through what's taking place.
Sure.
At about 6:25, we will open with a prayer, pledge to the flag. We will introduce the candidates, and then they will immediately start answering the questions. They've been given the questions about 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
They got to choose 3 out of 4. They were given 3 minutes to answer those. We drew numbers tonight. Let's just say Philip Sisk goes first, Larry Curling second, and on down the line to answer those questions. And then the second question, Larry will go first, and Philip will be last, and then on down the line. But you got 3 minutes to answer the questions that were presented to them, and then you got a 3-minute closing. Prior to this, we've had a 3-minute opening or a 2-minute opening, but lots of times there's repetition in the closing and the opening, so we just eliminated the opening and we got a closing so that they can summarize what they've said or rebuttal what someone else has said. But it's not a forum where you want to say, oh, gotcha, It's one where we presented those questions to them. They've had a chance to prepare for them.
Sure. Well, and I think if you're in attendance tonight and you listen, this Caldwell County candidates, you listen to them reply to these questions. I'm sure if you had an issue that's important to you and you did not hear it,
yes.
One thing I know about candidates, they'll stick around and talk to voters. So even after the event's over, it's a chance. If you wait your turn, you could probably get some one-on-one time.
We're sticklers for the 3 minutes. Try to finish in an hour and 8 or hour and 11 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you can stay there. The candidates are going to be there, and you can stay and you can ask them questions. For example, this morning I saw an issue on Facebook about the dog. Well, I don't want to be specific on what it was, but it was people saying, well, I've called the judge, I've called the mayor, I've called the police officers. If there's no law on the book, then our police officers, they're part of the executive branch, so they can't do anything. They are only obligated to enforce the laws that are on the book.
Mm-hmm.
We asked about 125 people what the main issues were. Of course, here in the county, it's county roads. If you go out, in the county, because most of our roads were constructed during the Louis Nunn, Happy Chandler era. As I said last week, we were hauling hay and others were shelling corn. The road that we were on was so narrow that, we had to coordinate with the other semis that were coming in to make sure that we didn't meet.
Because those combines and semis are a lot bigger. The vehicles are way bigger.
Yeah, back when these roads were constructed, we were on red belly Fords and Massey Ferguson 35 and 50s, and now, you got your massive tractors. The other thing that you look at on these county roads, if you're traveling down the road, and those of us that live on them are aware of this, the tiles. When the tiles were put in, the road, they were as wide as the road. And now as the roads have been expanded a little bit, they're wider than the tiles, and people that are not aware of the drop-off, and lots of times we will have to go maybe pull someone out that's dropped off. But the roads out in the county was the main issue. You start coming into the city, it's good paying jobs, those things. The jail issue, a lot of people are not aware that, possibility of losing our jail, and that is one thing that they will be addressing tonight. Another one is the relationship between city and county government. Very important that they work together. So that's another question that they were given the opportunity to answer. How are you going to work with city government and city government officials? So lots of things. Like I said, they had the choice of picking 3 out of 4 questions. The judges had, I think, 2 different than the magistrate. So it's an opportunity. If you don't get out, if you don't ask questions, if you don't participate, then don't come around complaining. That's very simple. You can complain; it's your privilege to do so, but it's also your privilege to get out here and to find out what these candidates stand for and support one.
It's so frustrating. Sometimes I'll hear, why should I vote? My vote won't make a difference. And how many races have we seen in years past where it makes a huge difference?
Or some you draw out of a hat to determine who wins. But your vote does make a difference. We got some important races in this upcoming election. You got state senator, state representative, and your city council, your mayor, school board. The school board is important. You shouldn't just be content to say, oh, yes, the superintendent or these people know best. You should be asking questions. So we need to be aware of who we got on school board. Then you got district judge, and then you got your county attorney.
And it seems like, too, quite a few races contested.
Yes.
And it's not like you're just rubber stamping somebody with no opposition.
And that is great. We got a lot of course, I don't live in the city, but I do a lot of business here. And with the Optimist Club, we're involved with the city. There's a lot of younger candidates this year. And so, and Bill, I hate this when someone says, well, I want to be a voice for Caldwell County. I want to be a voice for Princeton. Exactly what does that mean?
Yeah,
I want to know. Deeper. I want to know what you're going to do. And Misty, senior citizen, does a great job. The center down there, super job. But right now, the bus that they use for transportation is down. That's for all 9 counties. What are we going to do? Is our city council or city government, is county, are we going to step up and in some way try to assist them? Do you go to the state and say, hey, we need help in getting this done? Mm-hmm. That's the opportunity that these candidates have that are running for office. They need to step up and find out what the problems are. I hate this. You talk about a cracked sidewalk. Well, that is a problem. But to me, there are more pressing issues. To me. Now, that's just
well,
me.
I think this is twofold. Obviously, we've been taking it from the voters' perspective tonight. The event's 6:30 tonight. It's going to be in downtown.
Circuit Court Clerk.
At the Circuit Court Clerk's office. But also, if I was, and I admire anybody. I run for the House. I don't think I would ever run for anything. But people who put their name out and will run for public office, I think it's a great opportunity for the candidates to hear the people and kind of take a pulse on what folks are concerned about in the county and in the city. And it's a great opportunity for the candidates to learn.
Yesterday at the reading of the preamble and amendments in the constitutional to conclude Constitutional Week at the Planners Pavilion, Larry was there, Philip was there, Coda was there. And so I just had an opportunity to talk to them. And it's, we talk about jobs. Well, Trigg, Caldwell, Line, all around here, there are jobs available. But how active, how are we able to supply skilled workers for those jobs? So one question that I have for the candidates is, do we concentrate on keeping our present industry and training those out in the community that are not trained, not skilled? Do we train them? Or do we go out here and just try to bring in a large manufacturing plant and not be able to supply the skilled labor? So there's a lot of issues. These candidates, they're all qualified. They're all excellent. I know every one of them, and they would do a super job, but it's up to the voters. If you're sitting there at business, home, office, whatever, pick a phone up and call someone and invite them, say, hey, we need to go tonight, and we need to talk to these candidates.
It's one of those where you're like, I don't know if I have that. If you go, you make the effort, you get there, and then at the end of the event, you're like, I am so glad I came. I learned so much.
Well, I've heard that. The state representative and state senators, that one got a little heated because you have Robbie Mills, a state representative, a Republican, challenging Democrat Senator Dorsey Ridley. And one of the big issues is the school pension bill. Dorsey Ridley's been a good friend of mine for years and years and years. And he called me early Saturday morning with some information about the pension bill. And, I appreciate getting that information. But those people came away knowing Robbie Mills, knowing Abigail Barnes. They are familiar with Lynn. They were familiar with Dorsey. But Abigail's new on the campaign trail. Robbie is new to this area. So people got to know them. People got to talk to them. So it's important to get out and to attend these meetings.
We're going to talk more with Roy Gene Rogers in a minute on WPKY. Big opportunity tonight, Circuit Clerk Office, 6:30, Candidates Forum for Caldwell County.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious homemade goodness. Hancock's makes their own fresh chicken salad, pimento cheese, salads, and a variety of mouth-watering desserts, sure to please your entire family. While at Hancock's, be sure to visit their meat department for the best selection of USDA choice meats in the area. Hancock's Neighborhood Market in Cadiz, hometown homemade goodness, and the Hancock name you know and trust for quality for your family. Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz.
The doctor is in at Health First Community Health Center. Dr. Jamie Perry is ready to care for the community, providing primary care services at 1100 South Jefferson Street here in Princeton. Dr. Perry is accepting new patients, and walk-ins are always welcome. At Health First Community Health Center, we are not just another doctor's office, we're your medical home. Call us toll-free at 1-877-667-7017.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Target, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
Here's your weekday schedule for the Capitol Cinemas, Main Street in Princeton, your hometown theater. And we've got Unbroken, we've got The Predator, and we've got The Nun showing. Here we go. Cinema 1, Unbroken, The Path to Redemption. A true story based on the best-selling book, Unbroken, with the story of an athlete in the Olympics who went to World War II, was captured, tortured, returned after the war, a hero, and then things kind of went wrong for him. Unbroken, The Path of Redemption, 6:30 Monday through Thursday. All our movies are at 6:30 Monday through Thursday. The Predator, rated R, 6:30 Monday through Thursday. Unbroken, by the way, is a PG-13, if I forgot to mention that. And in Cinema 3, The Nun, also rated R at 6:30. Looks like it'll be the last week for The Nun, because coming Friday, we've got a new family movie for you. Full-length animated cartoon, Smallfoot, PG. Starts Friday at the Capitol. That's it. If you've forgotten all that, don't forget our 24-hour show info number, 365-7900, or just Google us. Ask for Capitol Cinemas, Princeton, Kentucky.
8:43, 17 away from 90 WPKY. And of course, we'll talk more politics in a minute, but Roy Gene and I were talking off air. What a great weekend. Caldwell County puts it on Paducah Tillman.
Great.
Nobody in the Paducah Sun picked Caldwell.
No.
But that's okay. UK, oh
Yes.
my goodness. I thought that if the running back, if Mr. Snell stayed healthy, they'd have a chance for sure. More than a chance. They put a whooping.
They did. I mean, it was a
Mississippi
good
State.
game. I will not have an opportunity to watch football, but it rained.
With the rain, you can't do
Yeah,
anything
and I
else.
watched a little of the Missouri game and Georgia. Right?
Purdue won.
Yes.
Purdue won.
But then I turned over. My sons were there, and we were watching UK. And after we missed the field goal, I thought, oh well, here we go again, just back to the same old UK. And then Snell took over, and the guy on defense. Can't think of his name right now.
I can't either, but I know who you're talking
yeah,
about.
that was just tearing them
They
up.
were lights out.
He was fine. But that's a great feeling. UK now, saw a post that said, UK now is a football school. So I hope. But you and I were
I'm
talking.
not sure about that.
No, they're going to have that dot on their back.
It is hard.
Yes.
We talked about it the other week of being the hunted or the hunter. When you're the hunted, that's a whole different mindset. So we'll see how the Cats
and Caldwell
handle
County.
success.
I mean, hats
How about
off
that?
to
Yes.
those young men and the coaching staff and the school, the support. It's always been there, but it just continues. And so,
I was even happy. It was ugly, but my Titans won.
Yep, you mentioned
they
that.
got it done against the Jags, so there you go.
Yeah.
So a clean sweep weekend. Well, let me ask you now, you taught political science.
I did.
I'm going to strike a nerve here, I know, but that's okay. Do you have any thoughts or ideas why in today's society, and I'm not just talking Caldwell County, I'm talking all over, why is voter turnout so low?
Well, you mentioned it a while ago. People say, well, my vote doesn't count. And in a sense, on the federal level, just to be blunt, we've lost the control of the federal level. The Congress doesn't do what it's supposed to. We're up there playing games, having circuses, running around. We've overpaid them and allowed them to stay in office way too long. So the federal government, unless we do something, I'm ready for a march on Washington and take over all of the buildings up there, but I don't think I can manage that. But on the federal level, yes, we have actually lost a lot of control. State level, no. Like I said, you got your representatives and your senatorial candidates running. Your vote is important. And all these candidates for county and city offices, your vote counts. Your vote is important. And those candidates have in their hands, as they're going out knocking on doors, a list of registered voters. On that voter list, it lists, have you voted in the last 4 years? Have you voted in the last 8 years? And, sometimes I say, well, I just encourage you, don't vote, because that gives me more power. If you don't vote and you don't know who Dorsey Ridley is or Robbie Mills or any of those, and honestly, there's a lot in this community. We can pick the phone up and call Senator Ridley right now. I feel like if Robbie Mills is successful, I can call him, and they help. They help. And if you're active, if you're participating, then they're going to listen to you. Really, if you've got a problem, if someone dumps trash on your road, they're going to take care of it. But it may be done a little bit faster if they know that you actively participate in the political system. So, I don't understand. Well, part of it I do blame. I blame it on, I go back to the education that our youth are receiving. Are they receiving an education that instills into them the importance of voting, the importance of listening to both sides, making a decision and not being influenced by the media or someone else? They need to make their own decision, so we need to do that. So,
do you think, in general, social media has helped or hurt? political awareness? Has helped or hurt voter turnout?
That's a 50-50. There, a lot of the information we get through social media is not accurate. And some of that you tend to be able to influence propaganda techniques. That's one of the things. There's 7 propaganda techniques, bandwagon, a lot of those. You'll see those on social media. And as I mentioned a while ago, I want to be a voice for. Well, that's great. Everybody wants you to be a voice for, but what are you going to say? What are you going to do? So, we can come up with some pretty ads and nice on social media. But on the other hand, social media does allow individuals to look at both sides. Mm-hmm. But today, the lines are pretty well drawn. I don't think you're going to convince a lot of people one way or the other. Trump supporters are going to be Trump supporters, mm-hmm. and those that are anti-Trump are going to be anti-Trump. And there's just not a lot that you can do to persuade someone one way or the other. But locally, yes, we have power.
It was interesting, the funeral of John McCain, and the message that John McCain tried to carry his whole time with the Senate about reaching across the aisle and working together. And do you see at some point this deal in Washington is a pendulum? Do you see it coming back to where finally there's just a breaking point where folks say, you know what, we need to reach across the aisle and get some stuff done?
Well, that would be a blessing for the United States, but no, I don't see that happening until we get a lot of those that are there in power right now. Those that have been there 30 years, 40 mm-hmm. years, those people need to go. And I believe that once we get some newly elected senators and representatives that you can see reaching across the aisle. You can. I mean, I was a Democrat all my life up until about 8 or 9 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then I went to an independent because, reaching across the aisle is important. It's not your views that you're supposed to be up there championing. It's supposed to be the views and the will of the people. Mm-hmm. And so, no, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. It may come back to it, but not anytime soon. You were talking about your son voting.
Yes.
Okay, and in this great state of Kentucky, we go back to the 1960s, Vietnam War, and people were protesting, well, we can go to war, but we can't vote. Well, the great Commonwealth of Kentucky was one of those states in which you could. Actually, you could register to vote when you were 17 years old, vote in the primary if you would be 18 by the time of the general election. Mm-hmm. We were one of 3 states that allowed 18-year-olds to vote, and the rest of them were 21. And, of course, that was changed. But, Kentucky we are a great state. I don't care what people say. I have my differences with the governor. I have my differences with members of the legislature. But still yet, we've got to get out. We've got to work. We've got to make the changes that are necessary to continue to be a great state. And your son voted in his first presidential election.
Yeah, and he was excited to do so. Yeah,
2 years ago. So, yeah, he's got a say-so in government now.
Yeah, absolutely. And they don't do the way he'd like him to do either. But I told him that's part of, just because you vote doesn't mean that it's all going to go your way. So you have that's part of the process. But an important part of the process, a grassroots part tonight, 6:30.
Yes.
Circuit Court clerk room. And everybody, I mean, this is a totally free event. There's no charge. There's no agenda other than making sure that every vote cast in Caldwell County is an informed vote, which is important.
And that is very important. Like I said, I know Philip and Larry from way back in the day. Shirley, 3 of those running for magistrate were former students of mine. So I know all of these. They're qualified. You need to come out. people, if you're sitting there saying, "Oh well, it's rainy, it's this, it's that," well, don't complain. If the emotional issue here in Caldwell County is the animal shelter, but that is not one of the main issues. The budget, the budget here in Caldwell County. How are we going to raise revenue? How's the city going to raise revenue? They're proposed 4% property tax. So, is that just going to be a burden from now on? Those people that own property, you keep paying for things to happen. So, get involved, get out, talk to the candidates. Tonight's your opportunity. I think, were you at First Southern Bank the day of the First Southern had the meet and greet for the candidates after the Black
may
Patch?
have been Alan, no, or Audrey. No, I didn't.
Okay, but I mean that was you had a candidate for federal office, Paul Walker. You had a candidate for state agriculture commissioner. You had city, county, state representative, and Democratic candidates there. Another opportunity to meet and talk to those people. Let's take advantage of it.
It sounds good to me. There was a cowboy named Roy Rogers.
He was a good one, too. And there's one, Roy Gene, think about it, Roy Rogers, Gene Autry.
Yes, there you go.
My two brothers,
I
older
was just
brothers.
thinking that.
They name him. If I'd been a girl, I guess I'd have been Joy Jean or something like that. But, yeah. But
you're lucky with your brothers naming you. Mine would have named me. I'd have been a boy named Sue.
That would have worked. Hey, let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I appreciate the pictures that are on Facebook from WPKY of events and things that are taking place, the news flash that comes across there. Very informative, very beneficial. Wish y'all the best, and hopefully, I know we're going to, but this community is going to get behind y'all and support y'all very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and we have been overwhelmed by the community. We knew it was a radio town, but we've been overwhelmed by the community. And in Caldwell County, they say, if there's anything you need, they're not just saying it, they mean it. Like if you call them and you need something, they're going to be here with that. So that means a lot.
But we do appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, appreciate the work you're doing, too. And I hope it's SRO, standing room only tonight.
Oh, that would be great.
That would make you happy,
Yes,
I know. Then we'd have a big news story to report tomorrow. Right. So I'm sure Audrey will be there.
Yes.
Thank you, Roger. And I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I got lucky it was raining. You couldn't get anything done out in the field. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market on Commerce Street in Cadiz is the place to shop for delicious homemade goodness. Hancock